Alright guys, I'm gonna come clean and admit my failings. Well, g'day trendsetters, Phat Cruiser here, your friendly Illawarra motovlogger. How are we going today, guys? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about getting back on your bike after injury. So, as you all know, I'm still a novice rider. I'm only on my provisional license, which comes with, a set of restrictions. To understand about those, have a look at this video that I'll put up on a card there. And as a novice rider, I'm bound to make a few boo-boos and stuff up sometimes. And I have. I've only been riding since July, which as of time of publishing, it's about 6 months that I've been riding a motorcycle. So like I said, in that time I have made a few boo-boos, a few errors, and I have had a couple of accidents, not that involved any other vehicles, but accidents just with me and the bike, where I've had to put it down for one reason or another. So the first of those boo-boos was actually on the first day that I took this motorcycle, Stella, out for a run when I was on my learner's license. And what I did was I needed to go down the chemist just to pick up a prescription. So I went down there and I figured it was probably a good idea to put my bike up on the nature strip, which is that piece of grass between the curb and the sidewalk or the footpath. But being a inexperienced rider, as I went to go up onto the curb and put the bike into that space, I actually went into some very soft mud. And I was doing a speed that was probably a little too quick for soft mud in these tyres on a cruiser. So the front wheel came out from under me, the back wheel then started sliding out from under me, and I was left having to drop the bike and ended up on my back. And then I was left having to pick my bike up, all 233 kilos wet weight of her, all by myself. Obviously, with a bit of a damaged ego, I wanted to do that quite quickly so as nobody could see that I had dropped the bike. And I was fortunate enough that it's suburbia in a very quiet area. So I hastily attempted to pick the bike up, which I did, but in the process, I actually damaged my left arm, which left me off the bike for quite a few days. Basically what I did is I strained the tendon that connects your bicep muscle to the bone, into the elbow. And I'm kind of still recovering from that. Even shaking my arm too much, it does give a little bit of a pain. Lucky that's not my masturbating arm. Otherwise I'd be in real trouble.
That's what she said.
But the second incident was when I was out with Blinky and I was having to turn left at an intersection and I didn't see a car that was coming. And as I looked, saw that it was clear, went to take off, had a second look, and there was a car approaching. And I didn't think I would make it in time, so I had to stop. But by then, the wheel of the motorcycle was already turned and unbalanced, getting ready to turn into the corner. And as I stopped and lost momentum, the bike came down. Albeit very gently, of course. I did, let that, on this occasion, I led the bike down quite gently and there was no damage done, either to the bike or to myself when attempting to pick it up. So the third incident was just recently when I went to the post office to send out a few deliveries for my business. Once again, I was at an intersection at a roundabout, about to turn right in this instance, and I took a look to my right, made sure that there was no one there approaching, didn't see anyone, went to go through the intersection, had another look, and there was a car approaching this intersection quite quickly, and they were going straight ahead from the right, which means they were going to cross my path, and I had to once again stop very quickly. So I did a very decent quick stop. I managed to stop the motorbike just in time before I started entering into the intersection. But once again, because I was preparing to go into a turn, and because I actually did lock the back wheel up in this instance, and the back wheel did start to slide out from under me, The bike was not balanced, wasn't upright, and I had to let the bike down again. But in this case, I let it down on my right knee. Now this was just last week on Tuesday. So those were the 3 incidences where I've actually had to put the bike down and possibly picked up an injury. So what I found was that those couple of times where I did actually injure myself, getting back on the bike after those instances was a tiny bit daunting. Obviously I wanted to get back on the bike because I love riding a motorcycle and there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing that. But what I found was the first ride back on the motorcycle after the accidents, or after the incidents where I did injure myself, were a little bit daunting. I'd find that I'd take it very, very careful. And I'm very thankful that it wasn't a major incident where I was hurt quite considerably. I mean, the knee was pretty bad. For the first few days, I wasn't able to walk on that knee at all. And it's only been the last 3 days that I've actually been walking without crutches. So this is my first ride out during the day since the knee accident. But I did go out for a quick scoot with Blinky last night around Wollongong, and I found that I was taking it very, very cautiously. And I kind of appreciate that. I kind of appreciate the fact that I have had these incidents, because I feel like I was kind of getting maybe a little bit lackadaisical at keeping an eye out for things out on the road. And I think I was getting a little overconfident. And I think that happens to us as motorcycle riders. The longer we go without an incident and the more confident we feel on our bikes, the more risks we start to take. And I think in the case of the last incident with my knee, where I didn't catch that car that was coming through the intersection, I just think I really wasn't looking, and it was my fault totally for not being careful enough on the bike to really look for that traffic and to approach that intersection with caution. So what I'm hoping to discuss today are your experiences as novice riders, and whether or not you've had any incidences, whether you injured yourself or not. But if you have injured yourself, hopefully you'll be able to share your experience. But how did you feel on that first ride back after the accident? And did it take you long to get over that accident? Like I'm finding today, I'm back at 100%. I've got a sore knee. It's not preventing me from riding my bike, but it is a reminder that I need to take it easy. But I'm feeling great about being out on the bike again. But if you could share maybe your incidents, if you've ever had one, and how you felt immediately on that first ride out after the incident. And then the other thing, if we can discuss, is that overconfidence. Do you think that as motorcycle riders, after a while, if we haven't experienced any of these, eye-opening wake-up moments, do you think we get a little overconfident sometimes and sometimes need that reality check to pull us back in line to make sure that we start riding carefully again? So yeah, please leave a comment down there underneath this video and let's have that discussion today. So if you like this video, guys, you know what to do. Give it a big thumbs up, share it around your social media, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So I'm going to enjoy these twisties now today, guys. I've been Phat Cruiser, you've been bloody awesome. Ride safe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.